this is where I want to bring in to our guy Kap. Okay, we call him Kap. We call him Kap. For your folks out there, we're talking about Colin Kaepernick. Okay, was the quarterback, main quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, now my thing is that as we look at things transpiring, the stuff from Drew, and now with the NFL coming out, with Roger Goodell coming out with this weak, tired, raggedy explanation of an apology. I don't even know what that was. I don't even call it an apology. And the thing was so disrespectful, he had the audacity to say, oh, we didn't listen to I think, did he say of our black players? Okay. What you should have said is, we didn't listen to Colin Kaepernick. When he was there. And I didn't hear an utter of his name in that apology. Nothing. No acknowledgement. So to me, this is the NFL once again trying to do damage control, which it's already late. I mean, y'all done. You're done. And so my deal is now is like, what can Colin, what can Kap get? What can they give him? I've heard a lot of stuff that a lot of individuals say now, you got to put him in the league, especially if he wants to play. He needs to be on a team ASAP. Period. In the story. I've heard that. I've heard the other side, to whereas in individuals are like saying that, nah, Kap, don't do it, because you do more outside of the NFL and doing what you're doing and being that simple. So I mean, I've heard both sides, but I'm like this. If the man wants to play, I'm like this. If the man wants to play, y'all need to find some place for him to play. Plain and simple. And I mean, that's just a short list. I mean, what are you feeling about our boy Kap, man?
Well, I feel like Kap has been in a multi-year battle against a white supremacist organization called the NFL.
Indeed.
And I feel like he sacrificed his career. He put his career on the line and ultimately sacrificed it for this cause that everybody's up in arms about right now. Because he knew that at that time there was going to be another Mike Brown, there was going to be another Philando Castile. It was going to continue on and on and on. And much respect to that brother for everything that he sacrificed.
Right.
Let me turn to this NFL for a second.
Go ahead.
Now the NFL, I called them a white supremacist organization, and that is exactly what they are. They have a product that they put on the field that's about 70 to 75% black, but they have no owners. And it's not that black folks don't have the money to be owners. There have been situations where teams were up for sale. Black people put together ownership packages so they could purchase the team, and end around was done to find anybody, as long as they're not black, let's find anybody to buy this team. Right. I could give you one example. If you guys want to research it, go look at how the bidding process went down for the Carolina Panthers. You'll be very, very interesting how that went down. And so you're not willing to allow black people to be in an ownership position, to have an ownership stake in the organization, but you do want to make your money off the blood, the sweat,
and the backs,
and the bodies of black people. That sounds like a plantation to me, pimp.
Right. And not only that, it's that good old boy mentality, because just like you said, I mean, the thing about it is, all you folks will galvanize on Sunday and cheer for your favorite running back or for that favorite quarterback that's a runner and a passer, or your wide receiver, and you'll cheer for 3, 4, 5 hours or whatnot. And then after that, guess what? I don't want to hear nothing from you, boy. I don't want to hear nothing from you, boy. Don't speak on anything. Just go over here and sing for me. Go over here and dance for me. Go over and catch this ball, bounce this ball, shoot that ball. I love you when you do that, but outside of that,
Yeah. I heard something. I heard something very interesting today. Someone said, you know, there's a segment, and again, I'm not going to paint all white folks like this, but I'm going to say there's a segment of white society that is only willing to root for and only wants to see a black person successful if they're on the field. If they got your color on, your jersey on, and running down towards your end zone, that's when they want you to be successful. And there are some people in this country that don't want to see black folks be successful at nothing. And there's a lot that well, we'll go into that another day.
Yeah. That goes back to control, though. That goes back to control. But like you said, we can deal with that another day because that's a whole different topic. But like we said, I mean, with Kap, I really, really think once again it kind of goes back to what that man wants. If that man wants to play, they should get him. They should get him in the league ASAP. And you and I both know this, Lou. If whoever, I'm just throwing something out there because there was little inkling talkings about the Minnesota Vikings. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Let's say if the Vikings were to sign him tomorrow, within 24 hours, he will have the #1 selling jersey.
Absolutely.
#1 selling jersey. You'll have cats come out. Look, I never rooted for the Vikings, but because Kap is on there, guess what? I'm riding with him. That's what's gonna happen. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Now, we were talking about it. Everything he's done since he's been out has been just phenomenal. His shoes. I wanted to get a pair of his shoes just to support. Man, I couldn't get a pair of them shoes, man.
Every time he put out a product, I think he put out custom jerseys they put out. They sold out before I could get there. I tried to buy the kicks. Missed out on that. Yeah. I mean, he is a cash cow if you want to sell merch. But here's my problem. If he were on an NFL team, I personally, now this is me, I'm still not watching. I'm glad the brother gets to do what, to rejoin his profession if that were to happen. Right. But I'm still not going to watch that product because the structure of it is still a plantation, even though they put our favorite buck back on the field. That still don't change the structure. Like I see them for what they are right now, and I can't unsee it now. So I'm cool.
Right. And I mean, like I said, I think cats would support, and not necessarily by maybe watching like yourself or whatnot, or even myself. But hey, I support that brother. I'd even go to the lengths of to go ahead and buy a jersey, maybe give it to my son or something like that, because I'm gonna support him. And so, but I mean, I believe, and you can see this blatant disrespect, blatant disregard to this man, and the NFL is doing a piss poor job in trying to cover their tracks. It's pretty obvious. And the thing about it is, I'm not gonna throw it all on Goodell, because all he is a what is it? He's the showman. He does basically what the owners tell him. So I'm what I want to see is not necessarily Goodell. I want to see what these owners have to have. I'm gonna put two owners out there that I'm really curious, that I want to see here in the next coming weeks or whatnot, if they got anything to say. Number one, that's Kraft. Number two, Jerry Jones. Those two right there. Because those two, I'm pretty sure you can agree, they pretty much as in owners, they pretty much move and shake.
They control everything.
They control everything. Those two cats. So I want to see if they see anything, because Jerry was the same cat that said, look, anybody want to kneel down, you don't need to be on this team. Okay? And yet and still, I mean, these brothers, just like you said, sometimes they coward. They don't understand their own power. Is that, look, y'all make up 70% of the team. If everybody kneels, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? He ain't going to have no team. But like I said, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. And if anything, right now is the time to do it. Right now, I can understand 4 years ago, you know, and I'm not here trying to count your money, trying to count your pockets or anything like that.
Right. I don't pocket watch.
But you know, I don't do that. I don't do that. But what I'm saying is that we are consumers. Okay,
Right.
we have power. You have power. You have power, black man, on that field. You know, you've got how many on the squad? I can't remember how many on the squad right off the top of my head.
50, I think 55, 56 man.
Okay, let's say it's 55 and you got 45 that are brothers. Y'all can come together and y'all can make moves to force the hand of these individuals to make a change. But what happens is individuals, they're comfortable. Look, I got my money. I just trying to put in my 8 hours and go home. That's how, man.
Right.
You know,
I don't respect.
You know.
Look, bro. Here's the situation. You guys drive the engine, right? This is a multi-billion-dollar, hell, might be $1 trillion industry that you guys are the engine for. If at any point, if you guys decide, you know what? We finna shut this thing down. We're not just finna kneel. We finna sit on our ass and blow the trip for these billionaires until they get serious about something. Guess what? If you guys could hold firm, they got to move because ain't no product without you. And even if they say, oh, we'll replace you because there's plenty of guys who want to play football. Guess what? They ain't these guys, because the guys that's in there is the best of the best. Now, you could come in there with some XFL, some CFL talent, and think that that's gonna fly. But I'm gonna tell you right now, we're used to what we're used to. We're used to the talent that's there, the upper echelon, the best of the best. And if those brothers ever want to use that leverage that they have instead of leaving it on the sideline, they could get some things done, man. They can really get some things done. And that's part of Montreal for football players comes from. It's like you guys have than maybe any other sport, and yet you fail to use it every time. And it's the silliest, simplest thing I've ever seen in my life.
They ought to take notes from the brothers in the NBA. That's where you should take notes from. Because them brothers, but it also kind of helps too when you got a commissioner who's progressive and really sees the plight and really is ahead of the game on everything. So in that aspect, I mean, you know, the NBA and the NFL are like night and day because it's like, you know, it's in that aspect. But you know, it is what it is. So I'm hoping, like I said, I follow Kap. I appreciate that, brother. And the bottom line is, here's the real. Is that Kap tried to give y'all a 4-year head start on this, okay? But y'all didn't want to hear him. Gave y'all listen, the grace. Do I want to talk about grace? 4-year grace period he gave you, and you didn't take advantage of it. And now you sitting in your own mess. Why? Once again, the voice of a black man really doesn't mean that much. Right. It really doesn't mean that much. And I'm gonna tail on to this before we go on our next topic. Is that I want to deal with that miss. It kind of goes back to Drew Brees, but it's still in what we're talking about. Is that I want to deal with that Laura Ingraham. Okay. Laura Ingraham on Fox. Okay. Just let you know, I watch everything because I like to see what's going on in its entirety, even the foolishness. Okay. All right. When Drew Brees came out, and I should have said this with Drew, but I'm gonna bring because I don't want to forget this. I don't want to get this, bro. When Drew said what he said, she came out and was like, "Hey, you know, he's got the right to say that. Yeah, he can do that. He's got a right to say that. He can express on how he feels about the flag.
Right?
Okay, that's what she says about Drew Brees." I'm like, okay, that's cool, but as we say, keeping that same energy, just a few years ago, you were the same one that told LeBron when LeBron was speaking on some political stuff, okay, what did he say, Lou? I mean, what did she say, Lou, to him?
She told him, shut up and dribble.
Yeah, shut up and dribble. Now, I'm not going to say on this what basically she really meant, Okay,
Yeah.
but some of y'all out there
and dribble. Yeah. That.
Okay, facts. Facts. That's what she meant. Okay, but yet and still, she doesn't keep that same energy with Drew Brees.
Here's the thing about white supremacy. There's no logic to white supremacy. It doesn't even make good common sense, right? So they have to be hypocritical to hold firm to this goofy dogma that they follow, which is that we're superior, you guys are inferior based on just because we say. Sense. It doesn't make any logical, scientific sense.
Total fallacy. Total fallacy. Yeah, total fallacy. Their whole standing is a total fallacy, and it means nothing. So
when they come to that point, they have to be hypocritical. So that doesn't even surprise me. I expect it. In fact, I don't even pay her no mind because, to be honest with you, she doesn't matter. She gonna be out of here.
Right. That's how she moves anyways, and it just confirms on what we talk about, the systematic racism that's built in to the system we call the United States of America.
Right.
Okay. Right. And so the thing about it is now, it's finally, the flashlight is coming out now and really exposing individuals, and you can see it now. It's always been there. The thing about it is always been there, but now, guess what? It's loud now. So you're going to have to hear this. You're going to have to see this. And so, just like you said, I mean, I don't pay her no mind, but it just shows, once again, she don't know what she's talking about. She's a hypocrite. She's a hypocrite. And to me, just by that display, like I said, by your actions and what you said,
she's a suspected white supremacist.
Racist, plain and simple.